Yo, what's going on, Jets fans? Welcome into the Jets Report. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, I got some great news for you guys. We're going to be talking about how the Jets offense can find success against the Buccaneers defense this upcoming weekend. There's a couple of trends, a couple of key statistics where I think the Jets will actually lean more into the pass compared to the run this upcoming weekend. But, it's going to be overall great news on today's show. But some bad news, the Buccaneers are wearing these uniforms. Personally, for me, these might be my favorite uniforms in the entire National Football League. They're wearing their throwbacks, so they're going to want to try to put on a show. Their home opener in front of their fans, wearing these icy uniforms. So I guess some good and bad news on today's show. But speaking about that Week 1 matchup, if you guys want the Jets to beat the Buccaneers, go down there, hit that thumbs up icon. Don't jinx us heading into this Week 3 matchup. Aaron Glenn still trying to find his first win as an NFL head coach. If you guys want to help him out and help us out here at the Jets Report, hit that thumbs up icon. All right, so for the Jets to find some offensive success this upcoming Sunday, they need to take some chances down the field, and they can't be too locked into just running the football, too much of just run, pass for the Jets this past week. So I think they're going to need to take some chances down the field. And why do I think that? Because the Buccaneers are one of the best teams in the trenches in the NFL this year, but also for the past couple of seasons. Yards per carry offensively, fifth in the NFL, 5.1. And then defensively, yards per carry allowed, 3.3. That's fifth in the National Football League. And then in total, they're plus 1.8 yards per carry, which is second in the entire NFL. So clearly they're dominant in the trenches, especially defensively. You got a guy like Vita Vea, one of the best run-stopping defensive tackles we have ever seen in the NFL, and he is still playing some great football. But I say all that, see all these stats, then we get to the passing game here. The Buccaneers through the air. Offensively, they like to check the ball down a lot. They got a lot of good weapons. I don't even necessarily think that's a bad thing for their style of offense, but they still are 31st in the league. And then yards per pass attempt allowed, 6.7. That's 26 in the league. So you can push the ball down the field. You can take some chances. And the Jets' best chance to win Sunday is to take chances through the air. I could see, at least I would hope to see, is that Tanner Engstrad, with now Tyrod Taylor in that quarterback, maybe the first play of the game is you just go a deep play-action shot to maybe a guy like Arian Smith. Arian Smith has been quiet so far. He's only got one catch, but I think this could potentially be a breakout game for him. Because when you're scouting this Jets team, like obviously you have Arian Smith circled, and you're like, all right, that's a guy that can get over the top. He's got game-breaking speed, but the Jets really haven't utilized him too much so far. But now maybe with a more, just a better passing quarterback, which Tyrod is compared to Fields, maybe they try to uncork one and get Arian Smith going. And Tyrod is a great moon ball thrower. Like, how everybody talks about Russell Wilson. We just saw Russ put on a show in Dallas with Malik Neighbors this past week. Obviously, Tyrod is not as good as Russ in terms of those moon ball throws, but he is pretty damn good. So this is a great opportunity for Arian Smith. Get behind the defense. You have those safeties and the linebackers. You'd rather have them playing on their heels than playing on their toes and getting downfield. So watch out for Arian Smith, a couple of deep shots this weekend. And, in terms of Tyrod Taylor, it's a tough scout for the Buccaneers defense. Because he doesn't have really any film on him with this 2025 version of the New York Jets. Now, obviously, you got, the past film of Tyrod. But for this version of the Jets, when you're scouting their offense, you don't know what it's going to look like. Like maybe Tanner Engstrad is going to have a totally different feel where instead of just leaning into the run, maybe they're leaning into the pass, leaning into Tyrod's strengths. I'm hoping they can do just that, but you guys make the call for me. I think Arian Smith is getting in the paint this weekend. That's going to be my bold prediction for this game is that Arian Smith scores a touchdown. I think it's going to be of 30-plus yards. But I'll ask you guys, will Arian Smith score a touchdown this week? Give me a Y for yes or give me an N for no. Now, coming up next, I do want to talk more about the Jets' offensive game plan, just talk about the combination of the run and pass game, and we'll dive into that here in just a second. Before we dive into the rest of today's episode, I got to give a massive thank you to the DraftKings Sportsbook for sponsoring today's show. Now, the dog days of summer are over, and the football season is back. What better time to get in on the action at the DraftKings Sportsbook than right now? All new customers can sign up and use promo code JETSCHAT. Bet just $5 of your own money and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. You heard that right. Football season is the best time of the year. Get back into the action with the DraftKings Sportsbook today. Whether you are into live in-game betting, same-game parlays, you have all the options. New customers sign up and use promo code JETSCHAT and bet just $5, and we will hook you guys up with $200 in bonus bets instantly at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Once again, thank you to the DraftKings Sportsbook for sponsoring today's show. Now let's dive into the rest of today's episode. All right, let's break it down. Let's talk about the Jets offense here. Tanner Engstrad, he was fantastic week one. I felt like he did a great job of just developing plays off each other, even drives off each other. But obviously in week two, the quarterback struggled, the offensive coordinator struggled, but they got a chance to bounce back this weekend. And I think the Buccaneers, they are obviously coming into this game trying to take away the run. Because even when the Jets were down by 2 scores against the Buffalo Bills, they were still trying to establish that run. They were still trying to, establish that physicality and get the run game going. And I will say, even though the Jets are 0-2, this is such a benefit of having a team with a true identity. Because you look across the league, like Carolina Panthers, they're 0-2. What the hell is their identity? Nobody knows. The Saints, what's their identity? Who the hell knows? But at least the Jets, they have an identity where it's like every team knows what the Jets are trying to accomplish. And then you can build off that. You can build your offensive game plans week to week differently, but still having the same structure. So the Buccaneers will be coming in trying to stop that run. So maybe try to take advantage early. I think the first quarter and the first couple of possessions offensively are going to be so massive for this team this upcoming week. And it gets to this guy, Mason Taylor. You want to throw the ball a lot more? You want to have a nice little safety net, safety blanket, whatever you want to call it for Tyrod Taylor? How about you get the second-round pick more involved? The fact that him and Arian Smith have combined for 3 catches for 33 yards is an absolute crime. And it's not a snap issue with Mason Taylor because he is still playing a lot of snaps. He's got 90 snaps total this season, which is second highest offensively compared to just Justin Fields. Jeremy Ruckert's been solid, but only playing about half of snaps. But Mason Taylor, it's not like he's not out there on the field. He is out there. So get him the football. This guy's a stud. I can't wait to see what he's going to do. He just needs more opportunity. And I will say, normally it's always, the run game setting up the pass game. But this weekend for the Jets, it's going to be different. Because if I promise you this, if they come out there this weekend just thinking they can move around this Buccaneers front seven and they can almost go strength on strength and saying, like, hey, I know you're great at stopping the run, but we're a good rushing offense, you are going to struggle offensively. So use the pass game to open up the run game. Take a couple of deep shots in the first quarter. Even if they don't connect, those players are still playing on their heels a little bit with the speed the Jets have on the outside. And the 4 wide receivers we should only see this weekend are these 4. Now, TBD if Josh Reynolds is going to play, but pretty much point I'm trying to make here is that Mr. Allen Lazard shouldn't see the field. It's got to be Arian Smith, Tyler Johnson, Josh Reynolds, Garrett Wilson. Just a combination of those 4 are the only wide receivers that should play with Mason Taylor as that great tight end. That's how the Jets should attack it. And I will say, I think the Jets got a good chance to win on Sunday. The Buccaneers are extremely banged up. Baker Mayfield even is dealing with a foot injury. And, they're coming off a short week. The stock for the Buccaneers team is probably at an all-time high, and the stock for the Jets is at an all-time low. We thought last week could potentially be the trap game. Maybe it's this week. And also, I like the fact that this team's going on the road. Because you had 2 straight home losses. Sometimes you can go on the road, make that trip. It can really galvanize the locker room, get the guys, fully invested, and they're just only hanging around each other. There's no distractions when you're playing on the road. So I think the Jets, they got a decent enough chance to win this weekend. But again, you're going to have to play some good football. The Buccaneers are a good team. They're not just going to hand you a victory. You got to go out there and take it. But I'll ask you guys this. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. What is your confidence level in a Jets win? Scale it for me, 1 to 10 down below in the comments section. And we appreciate everybody watching today's show. See you guys next time. As always, go Jets.